So feeding your chi is not necessary that you must be there. But if you have, especially if you're one that is staying outside Africa, somebody can do it on your behalf. Don't you listen to some of these we have so many spiritualists on social media now preaching this, preaching that, talking about this, talking about that. I'm saying this because this is my calling, and whatever I'm saying here is actually what I'm told to teach. It is not necessary, especially if you're someone that you're an African and you're staying in the diaspora, you're staying outside Africa. It is not necessary that you need to fly and come back home and say because you want to do that, because you want to feed your chi, you have to fly all the way, and because you know the necessary documentation and the flight expenses and all that you have to do it because you want to feed your chi. I don't think you should just do that. What you need to do is that somebody can do it for you. And the person that is doing it for you is somebody that have ukagu. Is someone that is agu is going far and wide. Is someone that has ukagu that can feed your chi and feed it well. Like I keep saying, every calling is not the same. Some people have agu that is only limited to a certain environment. Some people's agu can go above that their environment and move to the next country. Some people's agu can go to US, can go to United States, you can go to United Kingdom. I mean, can go to global, can go global. While some people's agu is only designated in one spot. Maybe that particular environment where they're in, that is where the agu wants them to be to solve the immediate needs of that environment. But you can't just use that and create a general or blanket statement and say that somebody should not feed agu on your behalf. This is what I usually teach, and I have to teach it so that somebody have to learn. What you should do is that in case you are outside Nigeria, or in case you are even in your Nigeria and maybe the location of the person feeding your chi, because in business, in life, there's somebody that your spirit and his spirit is connected to. There's somebody that you are led to. Like most people will say, I'm led to come to patronize your services. And if the person's agu led you to come to him, you don't need to start having doubt that he or she cannot deliver. The only problem we're having is when some people have some kind of personal ways of doing things and they want their spiritualists to conform to those ways. I think that's where we're going to have issues there. But if your spiritualist is someone that his agu is ukagu, his agu can go far and wide. His agu can go outside that territory and even do exploits, great exploits. So these are the things I'm teaching. It's not necessarily that you must be available. Like when it comes to afar, I've been telling people about afar consultation. I said sometimes it's not necessary because it's airborne. It's just like Go TV. It's just like most of these digital cable networks. Their station is situated in a particular place, yet whenever they broadcast, there are people that are having their broadcast code can be able to tap as long as they have, there's a transmitter and there's also a receptor that receives that information, then definitely the person will be able to catch that particular network. That is how it is. If you believe that it worked that way, definitely it's going to work the way I'm talking about. If you have that conviction that this person is the person that's going to work for you and you will do it well, because you have trunks, you have thousands of people out there that are doing the same thing. Some people are doing copying and pasting. So it is that person that you are led to, that you say that this person can do this work for you. That's the person that will do it for you. And if you reach there, you should not start foisting or forcing the person to do it your own way. You should let the person do it the way he told you he's going to do it. Sometimes some people call you and say that they'll ask you, they want it so day, they want it so time. In spiritual work, It's only a spiritualist that will tell you the day, the time that you need to do a certain task or a certain work, and it will go. You are not the one to tell him or her that this day is better and the other day is when you are free. It is not, it doesn't work that way. It's not all these things you see on social media you start practicing. Some people will come on everybody is claiming to be a teacher now just because you want to create content and all that, and you are misleading people. Hmm? You are not telling people the real truth. Whatever I'm teaching here is something that has been inspired, it's something I was told to teach. Some could be through revelation, some could be through dreams. The moment I start teaching, I'll start having that flow. It is natural, it's not something that I have to cram or write somewhere and start reading out. So that is how it is. If you are doing spiritual work and you have not seen results, number one, you must, before you start doing that, speak to yourself. The way I'll tell people to pray, when you're looking for something and you want that thing to happen, you have to pray towards that thing. Pray that your own spirit, your own chi should lead you to the person that will do that work for you. Because you can't do it. You can't, even if you're taught to do it, you cannot do it perfectly. And why is it so? Because in each work, there's an offer that is used. An offer is like a scepter. It's like when you go to maybe a court. That's that gavel that the chief judge uses to seal an agreement. That gavel that the chief judge uses to seal an agreement. That is what a spiritualist must use, because that scepter is like a remote control that controls spiritual forces. I don't like it when you have atheists, people that are into atheism, coming to teach about ordinary spirituality. They're trying to bring logic into spiritual things. And using logic to understand spirituality is very, very difficult. Why? Because there are some things that are left unsaid. There are some things that are left only to be known by that only can be experienced. So if someone is coming to tell you that first and foremost that a spiritualist should not be the first to do feeding your chi for you because they are ripping you off or it is not going to work, it is a lie. The only thing is that you yourself, from the beginning, from the onset, you have not asked your spirit to guide your intuition. Let me just use intuition now, not even spirit. You have not have that intuition to be led to the right person that will do that work for you. You have not been led intuitively to the right person that will do the work for you. It's only is only the person that has a very huge ego, like ego for that goes global, the ego that can go global is the person that can do that work and do it well. Onye nwere oke agwụ, onye ga-arụ ọrụ mmụọ ya ọrụ taa. Maka onye nwere oke agwụ nwere ike nọ ebe a obi onye nọ n'ala bekee nweta ihe ọ na-achọ. Onye nwere oke agwụ nwere ike nọ ebe a sị onye mmadụ daa onye ahụ adaa. So this is how it works. I don't like it when some atheists that are hiding under the cover of the liberal spirituality, they come here and start deceiving people, teaching this, teaching that, and so many people are confused because the kind of messages I receive on a daily basis is like I keep repeating myself over and over. I come on WhatsApp, some people will chat me on WhatsApp and they're asking me, are you sure this thing is real? Then I'm asking, why is it working for me? And I say the reason why you are not experiencing any result, like, is whenever you're doing spiritual work, just give yourself a space. Be patient. Give yourself a space of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I think 3 years maximum. If you don't see result, that means you are not on the right path. Actually, it's not meant for you. But you give yourself a space. Give yourself space of 3 years, and I bet you within 3 years you start seeing result. And number one, the reason why some spiritual work, after doing it, like feeding your chi, feeding your chi and all that, is not working. Number one is that there's no connection between you that they did the work for and the person doing it. There's no connection. That's number one. Then number two, sexual purity. Whenever you're coming to attend to spiritual forces, you must be clean. You must be sexually pure. You must be clean. And being clean means you have to stay away from sexual interactions before, you have to stay away from erotic interactions before 4 days prior to the day of that walk. And that is how it will work. 4 or 7 days prior to the day of that spiritual work. Both the person that the work is being done for and you that you're doing the work, you the spiritualist, there must be a kind of being clean spiritually, so that once there's cleanliness, there will be connectivity, there will be receptivity. There will be receptivity. So that is how it works. That's number two. Then number three, it is that the place you are, the work that is being done, is it where it's supposed to be done? Because sometimes when you're doing a spiritual work and the environment matters a lot, because you can't be having a spiritualist that is living in maybe a room where he's even sleeping in the same room, him and his wife, and he's doing spiritual work and he's working. He must have a separate room where he does spiritual work for the public. So that is how it is. His temple must be separated from where he attends to, his matrimonial duties. And then number four is that you that they're doing the work for, you are here and you are there. Your mind is not fixated on one thing. If you know, like I always give this analogy, if you're very thirsty, and someone brings, let me say, a cup of water and brings let's say bread, or brings any consumable food, which one will you take first? I think you should take water because you're thirsty. I don't think that bread will solve that thirst. The water comes first, then before the rest. So that's how it is. You must have a primary focus on what you want, and then build energy towards that. And when two people are working towards something, there's always progress, significant progress in it, because your spiritualist is working his own side, you are also working. And you find that sometimes somebody will tell you, because they have this notion that what we're doing is magical, so you should just give your spiritualist money and then you go and start living your inactive lifestyle. It is not done that way. And so that is it. You realize that by the time your mind and your focus is, your spiritualist is having focus on what he or she is trying to do for you, and you yourself, you have focus on what should be done for you, you find out there is a connectivity. And when two people are having one connection, it produces faster results than when one person is doing it. But let me say this, the thing is that your spiritualist should teach you, after feeding your chi for the first time, you're using a scepter, which is afar, to seal that alignment between you and your chi with that of all. Then secondly, your spirituality should teach you. But if you are the type that you live maybe outside Nigeria or outside Africa, and you don't have that space or time, then definitely a third party will come into it. And that third party is your spiritualist. He will come to assist you to be carrying out those spiritual tasks, because it is good at least some people will say, I want to be feeding my chi once in a month. Some people say, I want to be feeding my chi once in 6 months. Some people say, I want to be feeding my chi or my ndi chi or my spiritual forces, I want to be feeding them once in a year. It all depends on their financial capabilities. So that is it. Why are we doing so? Because sometimes there are some work that needed offer. There are some work that you need to seal. Like I said an offer stick is a scepter, is like a spiritual remote that controls spiritual forces. So using it can make a spiritual work to move faster. But I want to talk about results. Sometimes when spiritual forces are working, they don't just do it magically. Some things will start happening magically or start happening immediately because it was the appointed time for it to happen. But some things might not happen because it will follow the natural process and take time to build inside to know whether it is the right time for you. You might be asking for a car. You say, do you want to drive this car because you see your friends or your or relatives or neighbors or family members are doing it. But you don't know if it is the appointed time for you to have that car. Can you realize that some people after building houses that they were bereaved? Some people after building houses, they didn't live in that house. That same year that they were buried. Some people after buying their first Porsche car, that same year is the year they perished. So it shows you that there's an appointed time for everything, that you must follow things gradually, that spiritual forces are the ones that will make things last long for you. And whenever you're coming into ordinary spirituality, do not come with the mindset of making money. Money is not a primary or should not be your primary goal. Your primary goal is your health, longevity, living longer. Because life is about experiencing something. It has to come with you experiencing each day, and each day comes with its delicacy. What happened yesterday, if you find out today, is not actually the same. It doesn't look the same. It means that each day is unique. Each day comes with its own uniqueness. So you are not supposed to be interested in every time you want to make money. That means you are actually living a life of transaction. It's a transactional life that every day you want to be doing things about money, 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 money. There are things that you need to have in life that money cannot buy. And that is what you should be focused, especially good health. If you go to the hospitals and see how people are sitting there with all the monies they have, they cannot buy the health back. Some people are going through one ailment. There are some diseases that cannot even be cured by the hospital. And so people are because they are writing in that pain, in that condition, they are praying for them to leave that particular thing and experience and enjoy life like others. So when you are coming to ordinary spirituality, do not always come with the mindset of you're coming to make money overnight. You are going to fall into the hands of ritualists and all these con artists. And so many of them are hiding. Some of them are even hiding under the church to preach, to pretend as if they are doing their work. Yet they are occultists. And anything occultism would involve human life. Anything occultism involves human life. You realize that this person, after eating cool, in the space of 3 months, the person has become a multi-millionaire, and nobody can trace the source of that money that he or she is having. But when you're following natural process will be coming gradually, and they will be blessing the works of your hands. That is what is more important. That is why you see in some quarters that if you have something doing and you are venerating your spiritual forces, they will make that thing that you're doing to be noticeable. That when it comes to where people are selling, your own becomes a high target. Your own becomes your own remains on demand. People are always patronizing your own, and nobody knows. Some people will now say that it's like this person is involved in diabolical or acquisition of charms. It's just because number one, your chi wants that thing to move, and your chi is always ahead for you in everything. Your ndi chi, your ancestors are happy that you are always remembering them. They will also make sure that if there's any spiritual attack coming your way, they will thwart it. Then your water elements are there to help you in the network. Theirs is just to make sure that your face becomes desirable, likable by everyone. And that is why you need them. They don't actually give money per se. They don't actually give money one-on-one. But what they do is that they make you to shine there. Wherever you are, you become noticeable. You become admirable by everyone. That is what your water elements are into. Then when you talk about your ndu too, or Nduki. In all those ones are just to make sure there's no breakdown of law and order in the spirit realm. Because when it comes to physical realm, you discover that sometimes you want to do something, maybe you are experiencing promise and fail, you're experiencing disappointment, is because, or you're experiencing theft, spiritual theft. Sometimes you keep money and you realize that the money is no longer there. Some people will come and tell me that they need a charm that will make them, that whenever they keep money, money will remain. I said, there's nothing like any charm. You have to know whether you have a spiritual force that is coming to steal your money spiritually. And they can come with animals. Spiritual force knows how they do their things. So it's all about you knowing how to do your settlements, settle them and let them be on their own, and what are you, so that you can be able to focus on what you are here for. So please, in case you're enjoying this video, do not hesitate to, if you're watching this video for the first time, please do not hesitate to subscribe to this channel and put your notification bell on, so that whenever I post a new video, you will first be updated about it. And if you find this video, as you're watching it, if you find it very worthy or you find it very educative, you can use the share button. Please use the share button so that it can be going viral. And in case you have any question, you don't understand what I've just said, you can chat me in the comment section. I'll be able to follow through and respond to your messages. And if you want to have an afar consultation, because I run an afar consultation service, if you want to know what is going on in your life, you want to know why things are not working the way it is, you want to know whether something is holding you down spiritually, whether you are having a spiritual blockage, there are some things that you'll be having some confusion over, you don't know what is going on, chat me on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is 09040113281. Thanks for stopping by. Yagazia.